Hello, everyone. Hi there. I'm Marilyn Green. I am the girl behind Girl Who Don't You Know? It's my talk show, it's my bucket list, and I am so happy that you decided to join me tonight. Or if you hashtag replay, just so happy that you went to the replay. So the first thing I need you to know is that I'm doing this because I am working to transform your mind one show at a time. Transforming minds one show at a time. And so, what I need you to do is share my show. Please share it because somebody out there needs to hear what we're going to talk about today. I have a super special guest. All my guests are special, but I'm going to put super on her. She's a super special guest that I want to bring her up soon to talk about her entrepreneurial journey, and also talk about some of her beauty products. Beauty. I love beauty products. So again, I need you to share the show, share the show. Okay, and so please go to Girl Who Don't You Know on Facebook to post your comments. Guess what else? I'm on YouTube. You can go to capital MARILYN underscore pink and green. Please go there and subscribe. All right. So again, you're listening to Girl Who Don't You Know. It's a talk show with Marilyn Green where I am transforming minds one show at a time. So you guys know I always ask a question, or I started asking a question. So today, I need for you to tell me where you're listening from and also tell me your favorite color. I can tell you my favorite color is green. Not because it's my last name, not because it's just like money. Okay, it's just green. Hello, Annabelle. Hello, Maryland. Freeport, Illinois, in the room. Okay, what's your favorite color? And Denise White Taylor Johnson, my schoolmate. Hey, Maryland. I'm tuned in from Madison, Illinois. I need to know your guys' favorite colors. I know you got some. Favorite colors, favorite colors. All right, I'm with purple. Okay, royalty. Go, Hannah. Purple. What about you, Denise? I know you got a favorite color. We gonna wait. I know somebody coming on so we can see your favorite colors. Okay, you like green. Good, Denise. It's money. It's my last name. Okay, thanks so much. Okay, Kiera, do we have anybody else out there trying to say what color they like their favorite color? All righty then. So let's get ready to get started here. All right. So my guest had is Miss Mrs. Angel Cornelius. Okay. And she's the founder of Maison 276. And she has been featured on Oprah Magazine, Today Show, Vogue, USA Today, Macy's, Sally Beauty, QVC. Man, she's been everywhere. And I so appreciate her taking the time out of her busy schedule to come and talk about her entrepreneurial spirit, okay, and her journey. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her up. I'm going to add her to the screen. And there she is. Okay. That is, let's see, if we take this down. There we go. All right. So hi Angel, how are you?
Hello, Marilyn. Good evening. It's so great to finally meet you after all the emails. And thank you so much for the invitation to come and share my journey with the Girl Who Don't You Know community. I sincerely appreciate it.
Thank you for coming. And True Prince says, hello, my sister. That's the H Town person. Mr. True
Oh,
Prince. That's
sounds
who
like
he
you have a
is.
super fan.
Yes, he's a super fan, a super follower. In fact, he told
That's
me before, he
awesome.
said, hello, Angel.
Hi, hello. Thank you for joining us.
He told me, he said, man, I'm just like a little kid. I can't wait to find out what you got on tonight.
That's
I'm like, now
awesome.
that's a true fan right there.
Yeah.
He's gonna come in, he's supporting me. Have I ever met him? No. But when I see him on Facebook, I'm telling him happy birthday, or I'm giving hearts, I'm giving thumbs up, but because of the virtual world, we don't have to see them.
Exactly.
We can just know that they're out there. They're out
Yes.
there. So it's all good. All right then. So let's see here. Angel, first question for you is, how did you get that beautiful name, Angel?
I cannot take responsibility for it. I'll just say that. That is all on my parents. And honestly, I think it has a lot to do with my birthday. I'm 2 days after Christmas. I'm kind of a
Mm.
Christmas baby. And so that's what I'll attribute it to. So I thank you. I very much, and I always tell people I cannot take responsibility for that, but I accept the compliment.
Okay, great. So do people say your name is Angel? Are you an angel? Do they say that a lot or
You
ask you
know,
that question?
it's interesting because I've had several people say, wow, that is a tough name to live up to, right? And I said, I just do the best that I can. you know, I just try
Right.
to be a good person and to treat people the way I want to be treated. And that's, honestly, should be the goal for each of us, right?
Exactly, exactly. So, Angel asked me before, how did I find her? And so I'm going to answer that question to everybody. I saw her on Facebook and I fell in love, love, love with her hair. And I was like, oh my God, so I bought her product. So, and yes, it does work. So, okay. So, and the silver, the shine, the glow, all of that I was like just blown out. I was, if you guys look at the flyer that I had, when she has it out, it's like, oh my God, it's just a natural beauty that I love. And so because of that, I think you said something about, I read about, how did you start? I mean, I think you have that big red mixer in your house.
The red KitchenAid mixer that I still have. So Marilyn, honestly, I've always been a bit of a beauty DIYer. Before that
Hmm.
was actually a term, right?
Yes.
I would buy products off the shelf, whether it was for my hair or for my skin, and I will always add ingredients to it, either because, what I now know is that a lot of lotions and moisturizers have a lot of high water content, and
Uh-huh.
so they wouldn't last all day in terms of their moisturizing abilities. And so I was
Hmm.
always adding oils to lotions or any kind of skin conditioners. And as it relates to my hair, my mother actually discovered my first silver strand. I was so young, she was still combing my hair. And so I've really grown up with this silver hair and
Okay.
understand the challenges of what it means. And silvers and blondes are hair sisters. We have the same hair concerns, and
Hmm.
that's keeping your hair bright and vibrant. It's like wearing the same white dress every day. Inevitably, it will just get dull. And so, what you're solving for is just removing those dull, brassy, brown, yellow overtones to reveal the natural color of your hair. Well, 99% of the products on the market for silver and blonde hairs are what's known as the purple shampoos
Hmm.
because they have those purple pigments in them. And
Hmm.
the pigments are there to offset that dullness and discoloration that occurs over time. But
Right.
the problem is when you keep adding color to colorless hair, you get what I affectionately call old lady blue hair. And so, from the consumer's perspective, and most women, when I say that, you know exactly what I mean, and someone or, an image comes to mind of someone with blue or purple hair. And so, from the consumer perspective, what I was forced to do was sometimes you use the purple stuff when you're trying to, offset that dullness and discoloration, but then you also need regular shampoos, right? Because you
Hmm.
can't use the purple stuff all the time. And also, the products were making my hair very dry and brittle. And so when I decided to detox my entire beauty regimen, I started
Oh,
by stopped relaxing my hair in the early 2000s. And so I really became a lot more aware of what the ingredients were in the products
okay.
that I was
Okay.
using.
Hmm.
And as consumers, we were becoming a lot more aware of things like parabens and silicones. And so I decided, look, for decades I have been using products that don't work or have been doctoring them up in my kitchen. So I'm just going to start making products for myself. And I started researching plant-based ingredients to solve for what I thought was my own personal problem. Like I just thought I was a
Uh-huh.
unicorn.
Uh-huh.
I
Right, right,
wanted
right.
something to keep my hair bright, but I also wanted my hair to be soft and very manageable and well conditioned. And so those were the plant-based ingredients that I researched and I bought them. And to your point, I had a kitchen. I bought a
I saw
mixer.
that.
I bought a mixer just for that purpose. Like this wasn't the mixer that I was using, to cook
Okay.
with.
Right.
And so I just began mixing up products for my hair and I kept very copious notes. I had this little black book.
Okay.
And so I would write down notes of what worked, what didn't work until I created something that worked for me. And so I created shampoos and conditioners for my hair that didn't have the purple dyes. So it was that one thing that I could use every time I wash and condition my hair. And I didn't have to worry about adding unwanted color. And so
Wow.
I realized I had all these leftover natural ingredients. There were butters like shea butter, coconut, olive oil, jojoba, sweet almond oil, just the list of ingredients really that are in my products to this
Mhm.
day. And I realized, oh, I can make skincare products with these leftovers. And that's actually how I began making skin moisturizers and soaps. It was simply with the
Wow.
leftover raw ingredients. And my friends found out I was making products because they happened to see me use something in the back of church one Saturday that I had taken out of my purse.
Right.
And so I actually had to create an Etsy storefront just to sell products to my friends because they were like, well,
Wow.
we want some of it. And I was like, I just make it for myself. And they said, and it was like, no, make some for us. I said, I don't have anything to put it in because I had this little Tupperware condiment
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
plastic, thing. And they were like, well, just put it in that. I said, honey, if I sell you something, it will not be in a Tupperware container. But
That's
those
right.
women those were my first customers. And it very much was a grassroots local thing. I would go to like church functions, fashion shows, sorority
Right.
events, where people who eventually found out I was making stuff, they would invite me to just have a table. And so that's really it was just
How
like
you
this
did it.
passion project, right? That I was doing
Wow.
on the weekends. I had a very demanding job. Most of my professional careers as a healthcare administrator, I was managing a very busy clinic for Texas Children's Hospital. But it was
Mhm.
just this passion project. And, I would make products at night and on the weekend. And that's really how it started.
That's so my question, how do you know to put a teaspoon of this or a tablespoon of that? I mean, how did you
I
I mean,
experimented. I honestly, Marilyn, I experimented, starting
okay.
with the base product and then adding additional ingredients.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
really, and again, doing the research on the plant-based ingredients, like what's good for moisturizing hair, what's good for dry hair,
Mhm.
what's good for, antibacterial properties on your scalp, like in terms of keeping your scalp clean and healthy, because you can't have healthy hair without having a healthy, clean scalp. And so
Right.
those were the things. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of it was just from Google. Some of it were
Okay.
products that I had used previously, right? Because
Mhm.
remember, I told you I was already adding oils to the products that I bought off the shelf. So I already knew like I already knew the benefits of shea butter and
Right.
coconut and
Right.
olive oil. And
Right.
so I just expanded that repertoire of other green products that I could add that would just enhance whether it was a hair care product or a skincare product or a soap. And again, a lot of things didn't work. And so I would just go back to the drawing board and iterate on the things that did work. And if it was something that was a complete no, I would start from scratch. Because again, I was initially only solving for my own pain points. Like I didn't think other people would want the things that I was creating.
Well, so you say you put it all in that big blender. I love that KitchenAid blender. I got one. I
It's
got
the
a
best
red one.
on the
I got a
market, and
red one.
I'm
I'm
not
a
a
baker. I'm
spokesperson.
a baker, but I,
Oh,
I love that. I just wanted one. My
it's
son, I
the
opened.
best. It's the best.
It's the best. I haven't really used. I just wanted one. That's a shame because But
And
I
they're
still use
pretty
my little
too.
normal little mixer, the little hand. I still use that one, but I
Right.
just wanted one because it was cute. It was nice. You see it on TV. You know what
They're
I'm saying?
beautiful. Yeah.
So when you said you tested it, because I know there's a lot of people out there that maybe listening might say, I got this beauty. My mother used to call it beauty treatments. I got these beauty treatments I
Yeah.
do. Okay. I do these beauty treatments. Okay. She got her
But they
own little
work.
regimen. Yeah. Yeah. So how did you get the courage to say, I think I am going to start to market this to or sell this to a broader audience? What happened? What turned on in your head to say, I'm done with the 9 to 5. I'm going to go over here and do this. Okay.
Oh, there was a lot of stuff in between that. Well, first, my first big break was because of Essence Magazine, which,
Okay.
we know, what Essence has done in our lifetime in terms of supporting Black women.
That's right.
And so my son had a friend who had just been hired by Essence, one of his college classmates, and she had been using my home creations, right? Because
Mhm.
she would use them when she visited him in New York. Now he wasn't using them, but
I heard.
he had them in his apartment
I
for
heard.
right, right. And so she really, really loved them. And so she called me when she got to Essence. She said, "We've got this project. The monthly beauty subscription programs were just starting out then." And she said, "Every month we have, beauty products for our subscribers, but each month we want to feature a new and upcoming Black entrepreneur. And I'd like to introduce your body butters to the editor." She said, "I can't guarantee anything, but you should send me some product and we'll see what happens."
Right.
And I was like, "Sure, I have nothing to lose. I love Essence. I trust Essence." And so
Right.
I make some body butter, and I send probably 3 or 4 different of my kitchen creations to them, because by now I have a website where I'm selling, but I'm still making everything and I'm a one woman production facility.
Okay. I,
And
I follow. Okay. I
and
follow.
so, she calls me back a few weeks. She said, "Hey, took your products to the editors meeting. They liked everything, but they really, really loved the pomegranate kiss body butter."
Right.
And I said, "Okay." That obviously it was a custom fragrance. Well, yeah. So in addition to
That's
the
it.
base, the fragrance, all the fragrances that I created were customized, because I
Oh,
would just mix them from all these essential oils that I had and just would come up with something that I like and would come up with a name for it. And so she said they love the pomegranate kiss. Like, okay, that's great. And she
okay.
said, "So we want to feature you in the beauty box." And I'm sitting in my office at Texas Children's, and I was like, "Okay, sure. What does that mean?" She said, "Well, first of all, we're going to need at least 10,000 units." And
Oh,
Maryland, it's a good thing we didn't have Zoom, or we weren't doing this, because the words coming out of my mouth didn't match the look on my face, because it was like, "Oh my." And I just said yes. I just said yes. I'm just going to have to, we'll figure it out along the way. And
wow.
so, when I said yes, I was still making products in my kitchen, maybe like at, 20 at a time, right? Of something,
Right.
but definitely not anything close to scale. And so over that 9-month period of time, because it was 9 months between when I said yes and when I actually delivered, actually ultimately 15,000 units, because they increased the number that they
Did
wanted.
you say 15,000 of these?
Right, but
15,000?
it was a smaller size. It was a
Oh,
1 ounce,
oh
because
my.
it was to go in. But again, it didn't matter. I couldn't produce that in my kitchen.
How did you
Um,
get that done?
and so first I had to find a manufacturer, which was quite a challenge, because there are a lot of manufacturers who don't want to work with small companies, and they certainly don't want to work with someone who is previously making products in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Typically, what they want to do is sell you something that they make, and then you put your label on it. That's called
Oh,
white labeling. And that's why a lot of products in beauty feel like they're the same, because they often are the same. It's the same product with different brand labels on it.
oh,
But I didn't want that. I wanted someone who was going to take my formula and formulated for commercial distribution. So
Mhm.
you stay true to my formula, but of course, we still have to do things that allow it to be transported from a manufacturing plant to a warehouse to be distributed, possibly cross country. And so when the end user, the consumer gets it, it's still 100% the same quality of
Yes.
the product as when it left the manufacturing plant. And so there's
Mhm.
a lot that goes into, taking a formula and creating it or formulating it for commercial distribution. So it was really hard for me to find someone who was willing to work with me. But ultimately, I did. It was a boutique manufacturer
Mhm.
that we still use, based out of South Holland, Illinois, which, as you know, is
Oh, okay. I know.
right outside of Chicago.
It is
And
Southside.
the founders of that plant had come from beauty, and they knew the struggles of startup entrepreneurs. And they, in fact, started that manufacturing plant to actually service people just like me.
Mhm.
And so we worked. It took lots of iterations, lots of them sending me samples. Yes, this is it. No, this isn't it. And I just learned so much along the way, because I didn't realize, like, the manufacturer doesn't do fragrances. You have to talk to a special fragrance manufacturer, and you
Wow.
send them your fragrance recipe, and they create your fragrance, and then they send that to the manufacturer. So it was just so much that I didn't know.
Wow.
Finding a label designer, because again, I used to do all of it, and finding someone to actually create a label, because a label has to have certain things on it when
Okay.
it's, for commercial use. And so it was quite the learning, very steep learning curve, and still doing all of this while I had a very demanding job, working 50, sometimes more hours a week.
Mhm.
But that was my big break, and that was in March of 2017. And so,
Wow.
um, but still, and so, still an unknown brand. And I started going to beauty events and shows, and women kept asking about my hair. And what I very quickly realized, two things: one, I'm not a unicorn. A lot of women,
Mhm.
they think that there's something wrong with their hair as we mature. And the truth is that there's absolutely nothing wrong with your hair.
Nothing.
Your hair is just like your skin, it changes as you mature. And so the things that you use when you were 20 and 30, they don't work when you're 40, 50, and beyond. Not because there's something wrong with your hair is just different. It can
Yes.
get drier, coarser. And when your hair stops producing melanin, which is the thing that gives it color, those issues can be exacerbated. And so you need products that address just those naturally occurring changes that take place in your hair. Also, I realized, like, so much of beauty is represented by people who look like our daughters, right? There are
Yes.
very few people who look like us who understand the challenges of, changing skin and changing hair. And I realized when I would go to these events, women of all ethnicities, all hair textures and types, they just wanted to talk about beauty in general. And I
Mhm.
just realized this huge void in the beauty industry, that they really simply ignore middle-aged women. And so the mission of Maison 276 is really not, yes, it is providing clean and innovative products that address the naturally occurring changes that take place in our hair and skin as we mature, but it is also about representing middle-aged women in a way that is authentic to how we
Right.
feel, how we see
Right.
ourselves, and how we are really living our lives. When the beauty industry talks to us, it's very much about anti-aging, wrinkle reduction, medications, like it's their job to fix everything they think is wrong with us. And
Right.
that is
It's
not,
not.
that's not representative of who we are.
That's
And
not.
so I'm very proud of the fact that we represent a very diverse and authentic and vibrant and beautiful community of women who, I like to say, the Maison 276 community looks like America. All skin tones,
That's right.
all hair textures and types. And we are very, very excited about what we're doing to change the narrative as it relates to aging and beauty.
So how did you find that manufacturing company? It's in South Holland. So what's the name of it?
Right.
Or
So the name of the company is M Seed Group.
Okay.
And what happened was, it's just a lot, I believe in divine intervention.
Yes.
So there was a blogger that I was following, because she would write a lot about hair, because she was a cosmetic chemist. And so when I was having trouble, and I knew that she worked in the beauty industry or had
Hmm.
come from the beauty industry. And so when I was having trouble finding a manufacturer, I Googled her to get her contact information, and this company came up.
Okay.
So what happened was, this she actually had started a manufacturing plant. So the
Oh.
person I was reaching out to get information actually had started the very thing that I needed.
Ah, that was perfect. Perfect timing.
It
Perfect timing.
was.
Now
It
let me go
was.
back about the different the beauty. I love this pomegranate kiss, I mean, no, I'm not a paid person, but I just this stuff smells so nice. And when you know how you put something on and when you touch something else, it gets all greasy everywhere. This does not. So this
It's
does not.
very concentrated, as you well know. A little goes a long way,
It
and,
does.
and that's why we put that little silver spatula
Oh my
in
God,
there.
the little silver thing is here it is.
It's an indicator of just how little you need. A little
Yeah,
goes a very, very long way, because
yeah.
it's full of the effective ingredients and not a lot of filler. And so
Wow.
what I tell people is, the best time to use it is immediately after you shower. It's just like
Mhm.
your hair. You put conditioner on your hair when it's wet, right? Because you
Right.
want to seal in that moisture, maintain hydration. Treat your skin the same way. As soon as you get out of the shower or the bath, you use that body butter, because you're locking in the hydration after your body's kind of been drenched with water. Give yourself 1 to 2 minutes to just let your skin just soak it in, and then get dressed.
Wow. I must say you are using your products because your skin is beautiful. You
They
use your products. Now, speaking of your products again, I did see, I think it was you was on USA Today or one of those that were on, and your son, he is now working with you, but before you were sending things to him to try it out, but he was putting it up under the cabinet or something.
right.
And not,
Well,
is that the girlfriend? Is that the story a little bit about how he was just not even saying, like, that's just my mom, okay? So
right,
eventually you got him pulled in, okay? So
right.
what happened there? How did you convince him?
Well, you know what? So when I started the company, he was in when I started selling things, he had just begun graduate school to get
Hmm.
his MBA. And so, he was just questioning me, like, well, exactly what are you doing? And do you know how much to charge people? And like, he was just really cool, because he knew my background was not necessarily in that type of finance.
I
Yes,
follow.
finance in terms of managing budgets, in my healthcare career, but in terms of, actually having a consumer products group company, a CPG company, even though it was just a weekend passion project, he really wanted to make sure that I was doing things the right way. And so
Right.
he was involved very much on the outside, and I would, reach out to him if I had questions or whatever, and just really being an advisor. And then as the company continued to grow, he got more involved, because I needed someone on the finance side to be more involved so I could focus on the thing that I was best at, which was product development and
Uh-huh.
building the community. And so even that relationship of him being a co-founder and CFO, that grew along with the company, because
Okay.
as the company grew, his skill set, or the need for that skill set, also grew. He ultimately got his MBA from Wharton. He had previously worked for Goldman Sachs.
Mhm.
After he got his MBA, he continued to work in finance for JP Morgan on the investment banking side. He also did some consulting. And so all of those things that he had been doing really informed how we have grown the company. And I honestly am just so blessed to have him have that skill set
Hmm.
and be able to work side by side with me to build Maison 276. So was it planned? It was absolutely not planned, but the
He looked like
timing
it was
was
not planned.
perfect.
He looked
Right.
like it was not planned, you know.
No, it was
Okay.
not planned at all.
Well, here's another person who Mary Stapleton Carr. Okay. Hello from Mississippi. I
That's
love it
our
there.
Louisiana neighbors.
Okay, great information. Good to see you, Miss Mary, on here today. Good evening, Soror. Hi, Nicole. Soror Nicole. How you doing? And Carolyn Taylor. Hi, Marilyn Green. Okay, how you guys doing? Thanks so much for joining. I was asking everybody their favorite color earlier in the show, you know. So if you want to just blast yours up there, that's good too.
Well, if you can't tell from the background, it's pink.
Yours is pink. Okay. Rihanna Watts. Hi, Rihanna. Oh my, all earth tones. Oh wow, that's kind of easy to go with. So yeah, earth tones are so nice. They're so calming to me.
Right.
You
That was
know,
the first
so
thing I thought. Very
yeah,
calm.
they are. But I do see yours pink, of course, Nicole. Yours probably pink and green, maroon and gold. Okay,
Well, those are my high school colors from New Orleans, maroon and gold.
okay.
And I did forget to mention the brand name. So
Yes,
I
I'm
am
gonna ask that. Go for it,
oh,
please.
okay. I'm a New
Please, no,
Orleans native. That's where I
no.
was born and raised. And so Maison is French for home or house, and 276 is the street address of the house where I grew up.
Yes, yes. I love that maison. Okay, it's almost like poupon. You know, it's got that. It's got that little rounding of it. But tell me, so you decided that I'm not going to work and do what I've been doing. Okay, when we talk about entrepreneurs, you know, I talk about transforming people's minds, moving them forward, pushing them through. You know, it's okay to follow your passion, and I can see now you had a passion because you saw pain points that you were not unique to you. So you saw that, hey, everybody's having this problem, you know, somewhat. So I need to do something about it, you know.
Yeah.
So you put together what you thought would work. So tell me, you decided to say, hey, I'm just going to quit my job. How
No,
did that
that's
go
not
over
how
with your
that
husband?
that
What
is
happened?
absolutely not how it
Okay,
happened.
go ahead.
I for 2 years I worked, you know, my full time, very demanding job. And then I would come home at night. By then, we were empty nesters. Our youngest, our daughter, had already graduated from college. Um, and so, I didn't have those parental activities, all,
Yes,
parent stuff. And so I had the time, right? And so I would work, come home, dinner, maybe work out, and then usually around 8 or 9 o'clock, I would start working on the company,
mm-hmm.
whatever that entailed, whether it was getting orders or email, whatever that entailed. That usually
Right.
happened around 8 p.m. until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. So for 2 years, I probably averaged like about 5 hours sleep because I get up
Oh,
in the morning, go to work, do the same thing. And something really interesting happened. The fashion and beauty editor of the Houston Chronicle came to my house to interview me, and she
mm-hmm.
was doing an article on me and another woman in Houston that started a company called Drunk Elephant. And some of the women listening in may know about Drunk Elephant. And so when I was reading the article, this company Drunk Elephant was already a very large company at the
Mm-hmm.
time.
Right,
And I joked, I was like, oh my God, Joy clearly doesn't know I took the day off to come to do this interview, right?
right, right.
And so it was just, but it made me think, what could this look like if I gave it 100% of myself instead of what is left of me at the end of the
Ah,
day?
that's good. That's good right there.
And
That's good.
so, and this was like in January.
Mm-hmm.
And, I talked to my husband about it. And I said, I think this is gonna be my last year at Texas Children's. And so I never want people to think that I just woke up one morning and gave my 2 weeks notice. No, I planned this out for a full year.
Okay.
And so, was there some anxiety? Yes, I was literally years from retirement. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, and so, but I think the fact that I had given myself so much time to make the transition,
Okay.
whatever life changes I needed to make,
Mhm.
to prepare to be an entrepreneur as opposed to being an employee.
Right.
There was just a long time for me to prepare on all levels for
Okay.
that, whether it
Okay.
was emotionally, financially. And so when, I walked out, I was at peace because
Okay.
I knew I had made the right decision. And through the course of that year, we continued to gain traction. So it was confirmation that I was doing the right thing.
Wow.
And then, literally weeks after my last day at Texas Children's, I began to get opportunities that I would not have been able to take advantage of had I been working a full time job. And
Mm.
so, even like literally weeks afterwards, I was getting confirmation like this was the right thing to do. This was the
Yeah.
right thing to do. And so, people often ask me, well, how do you know what's the right time? It's different for everyone.
Mhm.
It is different. And um yes, it's hard. And you're going to work longer hours than you have ever worked for anybody else when you work for yourself.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and
You do.
so you have to be prepared for that, and all on all levels, like I said, mentally, emotionally, financially, because you're betting on yourself.
Yes, that's true. So when you talk about yourself, it's just not you anymore. I know it's your son, so you have to have a team. Okay.
Right,
You got
right.
a
It's
team. And
so
so
right,
how did you
right.
trust that team with your baby? How did you trust
Well,
that team? How did you bring them in and embrace them as
right,
far as helping
right.
you? How did you do that?
In the beginning, when you do everything, it is difficult to
Yes.
release. But in
Yes.
order to grow, you have to let it go. And
Mhm.
you have to know, because here's the thing, none of us is great at everything,
Mhm.
right? So you have to know, like, what is your superpower? What is
Yes.
the thing that makes the company run? And those are the things that you hold on to, right? and
Okay.
and as you, for instance, social media, I was terrible at that. So we eventually got to the point where we could have someone run the brand page. Now I still run my personal Instagram page, but the brand page is managed by someone else. The website, I had built, before we hired a website designer, I'd already built 3 websites. So
Mhm.
I knew enough to know if the person I hired knew how to do their job. And sometimes early on, like, okay, this isn't gonna work. They're not doing what I need. And so you cut the you cut the cord and you move on to someone else.
Umbilical cord, you're gone
you,
out.
you cut the cord and you move on to someone else, that understands what you need, and that basically you vibe with. And
Yeah.
so it's just like hiring in a corporate job. I mean, this is a company too. And so
Mhm.
sometimes you hire people that you think are going to work out and it doesn't. And sometimes when it's great. And so I have people that have been, with me onwards, for 3 years now, from the very beginning when I
Wow.
started this 100% full time. And so as you grow, you begin to need more partners. At some point, you're going to need a 3PL partner. That's someone who actually ships your product on your behalf. So you
Wow.
go and look at the warehouse, see what it looks like. Is this someplace you want your product living? All those things, and they take time. So take time making those decisions, and developing those relationships.
Yeah.
Uh, I see someone has mentoring. Yeah, absolutely. I have and still do have mentors, and mentors don't have to be people in the same industry that you're in, but they can be other entrepreneurs, because there are some common things that all entrepreneurs, some common challenges that we all have. And so reach out and ask someone, if they have time, first of all, the time to mentor, because there's nothing worse than having someone say they want to mentor you, and then you realize they really don't have either the time or the heart for it. So just reach out and ask them, and tell them what you need, and they should be honest enough to tell you if they have the bandwidth to do that. I also often say find an entrepreneur community, whether it's an accelerator group or a cohort, because being an entrepreneur is very different than being an employee, and you need to have a tribe of people who understand that
Hmm.
those challenges.
Right.
And so just, whether it's, an accelerator, a startup, some of them you apply for, some of them you can just join, but find your tribe. Find your tribe. And it doesn't
Right.
mean you're sharing your industry or your trade secrets. You're just supporting each other.
That's right. So we're going to take a break here and hear from myself as I share a flyer that was sent to me, and I wanted to share this because everybody out there, feel free to reach out to me if you want to advertise. So this right here is a satirical comedy behind the scenes, and it's really funny because they have several series of it. But it's going to be for the people that are in the St. Louis area. It's going to be at the Grandale, 3610 Grandale Square, and you can see down here if you want to get a ticket. It's coming September the 3rd, 7 p.m. through September the 4th, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. And this particular writer and director, Joel P.E. King, is from our town, East St. Louis. So if you are busy or if you're not busy, just take the time. And also, you can also just bless someone else and just buy them a ticket, but just to um, support what he's doing. So, all righty. And if you want to advertise, contact me 636-442-2630. Leave a message, or you can write me at girlwdyk@gmail.com. Thanks so much. All righty. Okay. So one more question almost here before we move on here. Here it is. I have it. Okay. You wrote in here that you're never too old to start something new. You also wrote about how you accumulated decades of experience and expertise across the multiple disciplines. Okay. So I guess you're saying don't sell yourself short somewhat. Is that what you're pretty much saying there? And
Absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes. And you wrote that success in any of these roles requires us to have passion, commitment, and vision. And I think that you have all those: passion, the commitment, and the vision. And I know sometimes it may get a little hard sometimes, but when it gets hard, what do? You go exercise, you pray, you do both. What do you do when it gets a little hard?
That's you've done your research, because I do all of those.
Yes, I do my research. Okay.
I do all of those. Yes, the entrepreneurial journey is full of challenges, and it is not for the faint of heart.
Mhm.
But I am really grateful for this journey, because of this journey, I have met so many people that, like yourself, that I would never have met in my other career, which in fact I actually loved quite a bit. I loved working at Texas Children's Hospital. So
Mhm.
I'm really grateful for this new tribe and community that have become a part of my life as a result of that. But and so one of the things that I've done, honestly, since my freshman year in college, exercise has always been an important part of my life.
Okay.
I just kind of stumbled into running when I was in college, and I did it for decades.
Mm.
And then probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I really got into spinning, because my
Oh,
knees were tired of the running. My heart was not, but my knees were like,
wow.
we're not really interested in doing marathons anymore. But and so I really became really, really a fan of spin class. So I bought a Peloton bike about 3 years ago, and so it's just a part of my life routine. It's just, my kids don't have any memory of a mom who doesn't exercise, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's not even anything special. It's just something that she does, They do. My husband plays golf and tennis. So, just being active and taking care of yourself is something that they've seen their whole life. And so, but exercise is very much a stress reliever for me.
Hmm.
And I just kind of, I can just, my mind just kind of just goes, right? Or I'll
Right.
think about things, or maybe some problem I've been turning over for whatever
Yes. Yes.
reason. When I'm
Yes.
exercising, sometimes those things clear up. I take time throughout the day, and my Apple Watch really helps me to do that.
Yes.
To
It
kind
does.
of, it alerts me to stop and just breathe.
It does. It does.
I know that sounds really strange because people are like, well, no, you're already breathing. No, I
Mm-mm.
mean like stop and just stop, close your eyes and just breathe. Breathe, meditate, pray, whatever you do during that time. But sometimes, you know, because I'm very A type personality, as many
Wow.
entrepreneurs are, and
Wow.
my brain is constantly racing, constantly. And even no
Constantly.
matter how tired I am, it takes me a while to fall asleep at night. And so just having those moments during the day when my watch just kind of taps me like, okay, chill out, just breathe. Just
Yes,
breathe.
it will say that, and also will say, how about some mindfulness?
Right, right. And it's the
Yeah,
same concept,
it's the
just
mindfulness that they say,
forcing you to
hey,
stop.
stop it, and it's a good thing because you're right. As an entrepreneur, our mind is always kicking. Did that go good? Maybe I should change it like this. Maybe blah blah blah. So always. So it's always good to have some mindfulness and to realize I need to stop. I always talk about the what's that? The 7 habits of highly effective people. The last one is stop to sharpen the saw. Okay, you can't
Right.
keep on cutting, if the saw is not sharp, and the saw is your mind and your brain and all that. And you're fine. They said some of the most intelligent people, they take naps. Okay, they
Yes.
take naps
That's
all
just
the
not a
time
part
because
of American culture, but other cultures, like if you've ever been to Europe, not just
mhm,
Europe, like in
mhm.
the Caribbean, like from 12 to 2, those places close. Like
Wow.
they literally close. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I think that's good. My son takes naps. I think we got a person on here by the name of Sky Michelle. She takes naps, okay? And she's told me it's best you let me get my nap, okay? So
right.
it's important. It's important. So
I'm a
we've been
better
talking.
person, right?
Yes, yes. We've been talking to Angel Cornelius, and she's the CEO, founder of Maison 276. And you guys need to get her products. I mean, I got the first number one is she says to clarify, and number two, she says to hydrate your head and and then restore. I have it all. I mean, she got to revive. I got it all, and I love this pomegranate kiss. You guys
Thank
need to
you.
go and get some of these products. I'm going to show you right now. Go to mason276.com, to see her products because I just fell in love with it when I saw her on Facebook. I saw her hair and I'm like, oh my God, I got to get this lady on my show because I'm an advocate of just letting your gray hair, just let it come on out, because I tell people I know each one of my gray hairs by name. Okay. I know who gave it to me. Okay. And if you want to reach out to her, you can go to info@mason276.com. And let me tell you something. When you do write her, she writes back herself. Okay. She writes back herself. All right. And she does pay attention to her emails, so she got a sister. Okay. She said, do you offer products for sensitive skin?
So if when she means if by sensitive does she mean fragrance free, we actually do have a fragrance free version of the body butter.
There it
Mhm.
is.
Right,
You can't see it good, but it's in a light blue. Yes, she does. She
right.
does. Okay. So
And the Revive serum, that does not have any type of fragrance either. It has a great, you can smell it, but what you're smelling is the geranium oil, the lemon oil. You're smelling all of the natural ingredients, and many of them have great fragrances. Very dry and scaly in the winter. Oh, you definitely need the body butter. But
Yeah.
what I would recommend is to make sure that you're moisturizing as soon as you get out of the shower, because you need to lock that skin in. And if you're in a cold climate, where you guys wear lots of wools and like those fabrics, while of course they keep you warm, they also dry your skin. And so, if you have very severe, then, dry skin, most people do not have to reapply body butter, the Maison 276 body butters, after they put it on the first time. The first time you put it on in the morning, you do not have to reapply. It really does last all day. But if based on what you're saying, you might need to reapply, especially in those winter months, if your skin is as scaly as you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, good deal, good deal. Thank you so much, Miss Cornelius. And
Thank you for
before
the
we,
invitation.
yes, yes. So you guys go and you get these products because I really love the products, and that cute little silver spoon is just too cute. So it helps you just to get the right amount. It is just a little
Exactly.
cute scoop, and it's just really nice. So it's really cute too. I like cute products. Okay, so that's really cute. So I think what we're gonna do right now before we let you go is that, and we'll bring you back up, is that we have another commercial I want to show you because you too can advertise. And Kiara, we are ready.
Welcome to Cafe Biz 618, shared workspace in Fairview Heights. And no, you don't have to work at the coffee shop. It's designed for small businesses that need professional office space by the hour, by the day, or by the week. The offices come fully furnished and are a fraction of the cost of renting a building. Just pick the space you need and let Cafe Biz 618 do the rest. To find out more, visit cafebiz618.com. For meetings, training, networking, and more, it's Cafe Biz 618.
Wow, that's exciting. I love Cafe Biz. So, advertise. Let me advertise for you. Contact me 636-442-2630. Leave a message, or girl, WDYK at gmail.com. I love to say, girl, who don't you know? Miss Cornelius, I got that name from God said, who don't you know? I'm like, yeah, I do know a lot of
That's
people.
great. That's a great. I love
It's
that.
like, girl, who don't you know? But again, thank you so very much for
Thank
coming
you
on my
too.
show. And please, 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 you guys go and check out our products because I know I got them myself and they actually do work. They actually do that. Sometimes you get things like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. This does work. I'm here to tell you it does work. So thank you so very, very
Thank you
much
so much. Thank you, Kiara.
for coming on the show. I mean, I appreciate you so much. So I'm going to remove her now, but nobody goes anywhere, okay? Because I want to tell you what's coming up next. All right. So next week, Monday, September the 5th, which is going to be Rafia Rafia Maxey. She's the founder of Soul Survivors of Chicago and the Suicide Awareness Month. You do not want to miss this. This is a woman who lost her son to suicide, and she really wants that not to happen for you or anyone else that you know. So please tune in Monday, September the 5th. Yes, it is Labor Day when we don't work, but I'll be working, and I'm hoping you can tune in. And Monday, September the 12th, we're going to have my theme, Sisters That Are Doing It. We're going to have Erica Gales and Keisha Kent. And on September the 19th, we're going to have Katina Rupert Book Club discussion. The woman in the mirror. I am who I choose to become. And you can get her book at Amazon.com. So please, please come back and see me. You'll notice I'll be on the first, the second, and the third. Okay, so those who just joined, you are listening to Girl Who Don't You Know, my talk show with Marilyn Green, and I hope that you guys come back and be with me next time. So take care, and remember, I'm transforming minds one show at a time. Thanks so much, and bye for now.